the memorandum part of the presentation. Once Bill is done reading, stick around and get a free cookie or two. They're over on the table with the golden tablecloth. And also take a look at the books for sale. I wrote a short story called Einstein. It was kind of inspired by Magda Otz and her co-author Walt, their book about Einstein, which they did a lot of work here in this library to put that book together. But in my short story, Einstein creates this device called relativity cube. I mentioned it in one poem tonight. Relativity cube, he didn't think it was safe to go in anybody's hands, but he gave it to the Amish. Relativity cube. The Amish family has a small black relativity cube on the floor of their buggy, which allows them to travel through time, between dimensions, and through space by mere intention. The horse clip-clopping past my porch on a June Sunday afternoon with a flash into the slit of ether. They are swallowed into their destination. It rains. For 7 years, my desk is turned into an archaeological dig. I keep finding different segments of myself as I go down. Prescription sunglasses, cards reminding me of doctor's visits, receipts from mechanics, poems from other people, skin cream, cables for various attachments and sound devices, photographs, greeting cards, small wrapped packets of candy, and slips of paper with affirmations written about God, disasters, and the rubber band of the self. It must be a wedding day because more Amish buggies are clopping and flashing through the time portal. The women holding pies and covered casseroles in their laps as my daughter freshens soil and clay pots for the planting of impatiens, which, after all, sounds like people eager to leave within or through or around the thread of space-time, which claps like thunder and sends down tiny blue spheres of water wrapped around grains of dirt. It's a library poem. It's called Library Rain. I just recently published a chapbook called Library Rain. Will you change your clothes? The elderly woman asks. Huh? I say. When do you close? Rain pelts the building. Little waterfalls appear everywhere outside, rushing, gushing down the steps like small Niagaras. I stand at the window saying prayers to my imaginary past. I feel there is a reaction like vinegar and baking soda going on in the pits of my palms. I think about that narrow street in Rome where there was a shoe shop, a cobbler who put new heels on my wingtips. I told a kid about making a real hamburger. It rained like some crazy romance, like some war widow, like my mother years before I was born when she was barely 20 and wrapped in a black lace shawl. Offshore, there were 2 small semi-mountains that looked like steamships sailing into port. That was the past I viewed from a cave as the tide was leaving. There were sand dollars and other creatures, crabs, blobs of slime. But here the elderly woman just likes to get my attention, so she has someone to talk to interact with, in what must be an isolated and dreary life alone with a can of kidney beans or a dead parakeet still in its cage with the door open. We close at 9.